Oh, yeah, we got another former Jet with us, ladies and gentlemen. The pride of Long Island, a former teammate of Aaron Glenn as well, former Jets wide receiver, Rob Carpenter,
How you doing?
joins us now. Rob, you're a media guy as well, so I'm expecting a big-time podcast performance here
Soon enough, man.
to
Once the season starts, we get back into it.
you.
We kind of take the off season off a little bit.
For you, what does it mean to be here at Marty's event? I know you've been here and involved with his foundation many times over the years. What's it like being a part of this one?
It's always good, man. As I was saying a little earlier to one of my friends, Marty does a lot for everyone around, especially in Long Island. I know he's done a lot for, especially my neighborhood in Amityville, for the kids with computers and books and a lot of stuff like that. Other families, so it's always good to come back, man. And Marty's one of my favorite former Jets, man. So it's good to come back here.
I think you're a lot of people's favorite former Jet, Rob. I mean, what was it like to make the transition in your career? You didn't start with the Jets, but when you got to the Jets at that point in your career, being a Long Island kid, what was it like to play for the hometown team?
That was actually probably one of the highlights of my career when I first put the Jets uniform on. As you just said, I grew up a Jets fan, and finally getting able to come back here, put that jersey on, play for the hometown team. It was one of those things where it was a highlight, and you're making plays on the field, so family around, friends around, and it just felt so comfortable. And I was literally at home, and plus we were right here at Hofstra, so definitely it was right at home.
How many ticket requests were you getting for all the games?
I cut it down, man. I'll be honest with you. Like every week it would come, 10 to 20, and I'm like, listen, I got it's like 6 a week. I'll switch it up for six. So I didn't want to go crazy with that every week.
Former Jets wide receiver Rob Carpenter with us here. You played with the Jets from 92 to 94. Aaron Glenn, the new head coach, of course, his rookie season
Yes.
was your last year with the team. What do you remember about rookie year AG?
That he was actually one of those guys that worked hard. AG wanted to be the best, so as soon as he walked in the door, you saw it. Like he's like, all right, I'm ready to work, and he put the work in. Like we had our little friendly competition with the punt returns early on, and I'm like, yo, this guy, he's the guy. Just let him go ahead and take the reins and go ahead and do it. But he had that work ethic. He was a guy that you could see was going to be a prolific player in the league.
What was it like to go up against him in practice, right? Receiver versus quarter.
So he worked. So and he made you work. That's what I'm saying. Like so, when you got in practice field, you were with him. You saw he was one of those guys that was going to be a player for a long time in the league. He had the skill, he had the work ethic, he had it all. I'm just glad, initially, when he was up for the job as head coach, I'm like, I don't know if he wants to be his first job, here in New York, with the pressure and everything. But the good thing for him is that he played here for so long. He coached here with Parcells. Parcells put him through the ringer with everything, made him start from the bottom all the way up. So, he has that. He has that thing. He has that it factor to be able to handle the pressure here.
Do you think there's something to be said for that background that you're talking about, right? Being a player here, you got to start in scouting here. You understand he might be a first-time head coach, but he's not new to handling New York, and it takes a special personality to deal with everything that comes with being the head coach of the Jets.
Yes, and you saw it from the first press conference. You know how he knows how to handle himself within the media. Um, the guys on the team, they respect him. The front office respects him. So when he's rebuilding this culture around here, that word that we like to use, the culture.
Oh yeah,
Um, you know when everybody buys in, it makes the transition easier. And with him, like you just said, he's been here, so he knows how to handle the media. Playing here, you're under that spotlight. The scrutiny is there from day one. So he's gone through a player, coach, scout, everything now, head coach. So I think he's ready for it.
what do you think of the state of the team? Training camp about a week away. Justin Fields now the new starter. When you look at this Jets team, what are you expecting as someone who played for the team and now obviously talks about them on a podcast as well?
I'm not expecting him to be as bad as everybody else thinks. To be honest with you, I know it's everything's brand new for them. Excuse me, everything's brand new for them. But Justin has the experience in the league. We saw what he started out doing last year with Pittsburgh. Hopefully that transfers over to here. He's got a fresh start. He's got a team that's behind him. Looking at him as the guy. He's got his former teammates from Ohio State with him. Garrett, Rucker, a few other guys around, and the guys look for him as saying that he is the guy. So when you have that confidence behind you, and you have that experience, I'm looking for them to make an impact in the AFC.
I think that's the thing that a lot of people from maybe the outside don't realize. This team does still have a tremendous amount of talent. You go
Yes.
through the defense, they have a former all-pro level player at all three levels. You
Yes.
mentioned Garrett, Brees Hall. Obviously, what he could do, the line should be as good as he's been
Much
in a
better.
very long time.
Yes.
To me, it comes down to coaching and then just the play of Fields. And I think that's why people are just struggling to really feel great about this team because there's so many unknowns with what Aaron Glenn is now as a head coach, what Tanner Engstrand is as a
Right, right.
first-time play caller, and then just Justin Fields and the complete unknown on what he is now.
That's what it is. It is the unknown for everyone looking in. And I think that's why the quote unquote negativity is around a little bit as far as them not competing in the AFC. I just see it different. There is new coach, players, especially on offense, but these guys have experience. Aaron doesn't have the head coaching experience, but he has the experience of coaching in big games. He has the experience of coaching guys to their best ability. Um, Justin, being the guy that he is, with the struggles in Chicago, everybody saw it. But if you actually look at him, the way he played in Chicago, you know, he did things really good. He did a lot of things good. Team just wasn't that great. Gets to Pittsburgh, he knew he wasn't going to be the starter, but when he was installed as the guy from day one, he played well for what they asked him to do. Now I think with this offense, they're going to ask him to open it up a little bit. Look at him to open it up a little bit, not just be kind of a one-dimensional QB, which is good for him because as I was speaking to Otis just a little while ago, we were talking about him at Ohio State. He actually wasn't just really just a runner. He was a passing QB at Ohio State. He threw the ball down the field a lot. So I'm looking for that. I know Garrett is happy
That's
for him
right.
to be that guy to get the ball down the field. So it's going to be a refresher to see when they actually get on the field finally to start.
From one former Jet wide receiver to talking about a current one in Garrett Wilson, what have been your impressions watching him in his first 3 years? And he's someone I think a lot of Jet fans, myself included, want to see this team take care of and extend and make him a Jet for life. Your thoughts on Garrett and what makes him, the player that he's been in the league so far?
He's just a phenomenal athlete, man. You saw it from his years at Ohio State, and when you have a guy that's that good of an athlete who works as hard as he does, the sky's the limit, and we see it. Like you just said, I was already hoping they extended him. You know what I mean? So he's here. I know he wants to be here. And with Justin being back there, I'm looking for a lot of big plays this year. I think the offense is going to open up a little more for him. Brees will be the guy in the backfield, and that three-headed monster you have as far as running backs go. There are other weapons around Garrett, so it's going to open up more for him, I believe, the way this offense should run. So he'll probably have, his best year that he's had in the league, hopefully. And it's just going again. The sky's the limit for him, man. He's a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal wide receiver.
Now, the Jets drafted a receiver in the fourth round, Arian Smith out of Georgia, and you watch him, the speed's there, the athleticism there. The knock on him is he's had issues with drops. As a former player, former wide receiver, can you fix an issue with drops? How does Arian Smith go about preventing an issue in college from being something that it carries with him to the NFL?
Not think about it. He knows he makes the plays. When he was in college, the knock was that he had drops, but he made a lot of plays also when he was in college. But him coming into the league now, I think one of the good things for him is that the work ethic is there for him. Everyone talked about it, during the All Star games and everything from his coaches in college, as well as having the wide receivers coach that with Sean being there to be able to work with him with it. So it's just a concentration thing with him. And I think the faster he learns the offense, the more he'll settle down. I don't think they'll put a whole lot of pressure on him, to start. He is going to be that guy they look for big plays for sure. We all know that. Run a 4-2, you're going to blow the top off the defense, and they want that. If he makes plays early on, it's just going to get better for him. So that'll be the key for him, just getting off to a fast start. And I think they'll do things to help him out with that. Just get the ball in his hands really fast, let him do what he can do with his speed, and then eventually just, start plugging him in. But it's a good thing for him, man. The drops can be worked on, absolutely.
What do you?
Just concentration.
Yeah, and I think speaking of concentration, what are your thoughts on Malachi Corley? Right, first pick of the third round. The previous regime traded up for him. We barely see him. The one time we see him, he's dropping the pass at the 1 inch line in a game that the Jets thankfully were able to still win, but we all know how that would have went if it went different. Your thoughts on him and is there a path for him to still be an impact player in this offense this year?
I think so, but he's probably going to play a little more special teams, as well as playing wide receiver. It's just unfortunate that again they drafted. Unfortunate for him, they drafted Aaron Smith, and we know Aaron Smith is going to be in the game. So he's got a long road to actually get on the field. For him without special teams, I don't think it's going to be that much playing time for him. And who knows? With the numbers they have at wide receiver right now, he might actually be one of the guys that's out of the loop and will probably end up with another team.
Rob, this was great to get you on the show in person. I
Sure,
look
dude.
forward to you bringing back the podcast when we get
Yeah,
closer to the season. I'm sure I'll see you at training camp as well.
for sure. Absolutely.
Rob Carpenter, former Jet wide receiver, the pride of Long Island as well, played for the hometown Jets, with us here at Marty Lyons charity golf outing. More coming up. Quick break. We're back with more Jake Asman with you here on a Monday, July 14th, 2025.